Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in the previous video, we have seen why we have to learn Java. In today's video, we are going to see what is this Java, what is procoding and or what is programming, and what we are going to see all the fundamentals which are necessary to learn Java. And also we are going to learn how to install the softwares which are important to learn this Java programming. So without wasting some time, let us start over here. Now, if you want to communicate with each other in the real life, we use the languages like English, Hindi, etc. Right? These languages we are going to give them certain set of instructions which is going to be understood by each other and we can communicate. Now in the same way, if you have to communicate with your laptops, your Android phones or your iOS phones, or might be your computers or tablets, you're going to find it difficult if you are going to contact them in the usual languages like English or Hindi. They will not understand it. Now, what do these computers or these tablets or these phones understand? Now, these understand a language which is called as a binary language. Binary language. Now, what is this binary language? So, this binary language is a combination of zeros and ones. Now, you can ask me, why do we have the combination of zeros and ones only? Why don't we have the other numbers in this? Now, if you're going to see computer, it is an electronic device, correct? Now, computer is an electronic device. Now, if it is an electronic device, there will be some circuits in it. Now, for any electronic device to work, you need certain electrons to flow through them. So now when the electrons flow through them, it will be a complete circuit. So when the circuit will be completed, it is going to get represented with 1, and whenever the circuit is not completed, then it will be represented as 0. Or in the voltage format, if you're going to see, if it has the high voltage, then it will be represented as 1, and when it has the low voltage, it will be represented as 0. So your device that you have will understand the language of only 0 and 1. Now, if you're going to see, or if we have to represent our decimal content in binary format, then how we are going to represent it? So first, if there are any decimal numbers, okay, so if there are any decimal numbers, how are they converted into binary format? Your decimal 0 will be converted as 0 itself, and the 1 will be 1, whereas your 3 will be represented as 1 1, and your 4 will be represented as 100. So you can ask me, ma'am, how do you get this 3 here and how do you get this 4 as 100? So for your binary, there is a trick. Like you will have 4, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so this is called as 4210 format. So if it is 0, then you're going to give it as, if you have to give for 0, then it is 0 here. For 1, you're going to give 1 and 0, and 2, you're going to give 100. For 3, you're going to give 1 1, and for 4, you're going to give 1000. Here, if you see, I have omitted the last 0 from here. I have omitted the last 0 from here. So you have got the 4 as 100. Usually, whenever you're going to convert it into the binary digit, 0 is not taken. Instead, you have another format, that is 8421 format. You have another format that is called as 81 8421 format. So now if you see here, the 1 will be represented as 1, the 2 is represented as 1 and 0, 4 will be represented as 100, 3 will be represented as 1 1. So now if you are going to compare them, 1 1 is 3 and 4 is 100, which is the right format. So usually this was given in the previous versions, but now it has been updated, that is 0 is cancelled, so that's why we are going to give 0 as 0 itself. So we are not going to use the 0, and instead we are going to use 48421 format. So this is how you are going to convert it. Now here, even if you are going to convert it, only till 9 you are going to get, that is 8 plus 1 is 1001. 8 plus 1 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you're going to get it only till 15. Now you can ask me, what about 16? What about 16? How you are going to convert it with 16? So when you're going to use it for 16, you're going to have it up for above 15, you're going to use 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Again, add these numbers, which will be the highest number after that which is not there. Again, you're going to add them here, and you're going to convert it with the help of zeros and ones. These are the decimal to binary conversion. In our code, there will not only be decimal numbers, but there also will be certain set of alphabets. Certain set of alphabets will be there, certain special characters will be there. Now, alphabets will also be of two categories: upper language alphabet and lower language alphabets, right? That is a capital A's and small a's, correct? So these alphabets will be also there. Now, you might be thinking that if you are going to convert these decimals into binary, now if you want to add two numbers like 98 plus 42, first to convert them into binary, you're going to have very large, you have to add these very largely, and you have to convert them into zeros and ones, and then you have to add these two numbers if you have to give it to a computer, right? But that is not the case. Here, our high level language comes for rescue. So, what is this high level language? So, high level languages are your Java. Java is the high level language which is going to help us to convert, or which is going to help us to write the code in the language that we know, and this Java itself, it is going to convert uh, that particular program in the binary format or in the machine level language. So how it is going to do this? So whenever you're going to write any Java program, say for example, this is your Java program. So this Java program will be given to one thing that is called as compiler. So in every laptop, there will be one part or one tool which is called as compiler. This compiler is going to convert our Java program into the machine level language. Into machine level language, that is the language of zeros and ones. After converting it into the machine level language, it will be giving us the output. And after this machine level language itself, it is going to give the output here. Again, this compiler is going to convert it into the high level language, and again, it is going to give us the output. So this will be the scenario how your Java program is going to work. Now we understood how we are going to talk to the computer. To talk with the computer, we need to convert it with zeros and ones. Now let us see how to give instructions to this compiler and how to give instructions to your computer. To give instructions to this computer, or to give the commands to this computer, we need to learn the high level language that is called as Java. So there are other high level languages also which are available, that is C++, C, Python. So basically now you can say that all the programming languages that are there, they are the high level languages. Okay. Now if you have to tell somebody to brew, so you're going to give them certain normal instructions in the language of English. Like how you're going to tell them to brew an espresso, take the pot filler first, fill it up with some coffee powder as per your requirement, and attach back that pot or filter to the group head and on the short button for the espresso. And after that, after you fill the cup of espresso, then you have to remove it and again remove the pot filter from the group head and exit it. Correct? Now this let us add, now this whatever I told you in the normal English language, this is called as the pseudocode. Now if you have to put the pseudocode in a flowchart, how it is going to look like. Now this flowchart means it is the flow of your program. This will represent the flow of your program. So if we see the flowchart of this espresso brewing machine, first you're going to start power on it, then you're going to select the coffee, whether you want an espresso, you want latte, or you want mocha. Right, as per our requirement, we are brewing the espresso over here. So this espresso, whatever a filter that we have attached, from there we are going to get some hot coffee, and then we are going to power off it. If you want that coffee again you have to press on the short button, that is power pressed here, and again you will be getting a espresso here. So after that you're going to exit that particular flowchart. So this was the flowchart and the pseudocode to brew a coffee. Now, in the same way, if you have to add two numbers in the programmatic wise, we are going to give certain set of instructions to your computer. Now, how those set of instructions will look like? Let us see the flowchart first. So start, then you are going to give certain two numbers as input, that will be number 1 and number 2. Then we are going to initialize one more variable that will be called as sum, where we will be storing the number 1 and number 2, and then we are going to print the sum, and then we are going to exit the content. So in the same way, in the right hand side, you have a pseudocode here. So pseudocode is basically the English language code which will be telling us a brief explanation about our program. If we want the output in our program, we need to convert the pseudocode in the high level language. To do that, we need to install a certain things. So first, to install certain things we need is JDK. So what is this JDK? JDK stands for Java Development Kit. This kit is a very important kit to run any of your Java programs on your machine, or to write this Java code and compile it. You need this JDK. With this JDK, you need an editor, you need a code editor to edit your Java content. This will be called as code editor or IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So this IDE will provide you with all the contents that is important to write your Java code. So there are certain IDEs which you can use. The very first IDE is a Visual Studio Code. The second IDE which you can use is Eclipse. Third IDE which you can use is IntelliJ. So these are the three IDEs which can be used to write your code of Java, or any other code editor is okay to run these Java content. But the main thing is the JDK, which has to be installed in your computers to run any of your Java machines. Now, to install these IDEs, what you have to do, you need to go to any of the browser which you use. Normally I use Chrome over here. Your Chrome and search for Java Development Kit. You can see Java Development Kit over here. Select with the Java Development Kit, and the first Java downloads Oracle. So click on the very first link which will be given for you by Oracle here, and if you just go down here, you will find all the content or all the URLs to download your JDK content. As per your requirements based on your system, you can choose anything. If you are using Linux, you can use any of those. If you are using Mac OS, you have these here. If you are using Windows, you have these content here. So you can download any of these to download your, to install JDK in your machine. So this is one. This is JDK. Now, if you feel that no, I do want the the code editor plus the JDK together, then you have the Microsoft has combined certain extensions and has created a pack to install it in one link. So you just have to search for VS Code, or else you can also use installer pack Java. So here you have Java and Visual Studio Code. Click on the very first link that you have here, and you are going to go down here, and you have two links over here, one for Windows and one for Mac. You can install any of the pack which you want. If you're going to install the Eclipse window, if you're going to install the Eclipse IDE, then you need to use, you can see Eclipse installer over here. Click on this Eclipse, download the foundation, an installer will be given to you. An installer will be opened, and just you have to open that installer, and from that install that installer first. And after installing it, okay, the installer looks something like this. Let it get loaded. Alright, when you install your installer, the installer looks something like this here. So here you're going to select Eclipse IDE for Java developers. If you're just going to click on it, you're going to get redirected to the installation page and just install it from here. So once you're going to install your Eclipse will be installed. Okay, so one dialog box will be open here. If you want to browse for your workspace, that is, what all programs you're going to do, if you want to save it to any of your separate folder, then you need to browse this particular section here, and you're going to insert that particular path where you want to add your programs. And remember, if you want to change the path, or to save your programs, if you have different paths, then you don't have to click on this. Always keep this unchecked and just give it a launch. So once you're going to give it a launch, it is going to open you a Java development environment where you're going to write your first Java code. So now if you are learning, or if you are seeing the code for the first time of this Java, it will be a bit difficult for you. And if you don't know the basic, it might look a bit difficult to understand, but it is not impossible. So here we are going to learn the things bit here we are going to learn the things bit by bit, so you will not feel difficult. So it is going to take some time to open, because this is a huge IDE which has to install all the content it has to activate for you. So this is how it is going to look when you're going to first open your IDE. After this, just give it a cancel, and this is how your IDE is going to look when you're going to first open it. Now let us write one small program for Java here. Donate, just cancel this donate from here. If you want to donate anything, you can just donate it. Here you have something called as create a project. First of all, you don't have to use this project explorer. We need to, when we are the beginners, we have to change it. Go to your Windows button, show view, and here you have navigator. Just click on this navigator from here, and here the same thing is going to get open, but don't use project explorer. Let us cancel this project explorer here. Navigator, we are going to study with the navigator. So first, create a project. When you're going to create a project, it is going to ask you which project are you creating. So if you remember, I had told you about Gradle, I had told you about Maven. It is here. So these are some of the tools which are there for your Java. Now we are learning the basics of Java, so let us start with the basics. Java project, next, and here you're going to give the name for the project. I'm going to give a demo project over here. Demo, give it a next, and finish. So it is going to ask you create the module info. Just give don't create for now. Don't open the perspective. No. So this is your demo project that has been created. Now let us create the basic project that is called as Hello World project. So in detail, we are going to learn about this again in our coming classes. This is just a small view for you guys that how it will be created. Go for new, others, and here you're going to click on class. Next, here you're going to give any class like, okay, demo 1 class. Finish. Here, all the content that you're going to save, that will be saved in the form of .java extension. All the source codes that you're going to write, they will be stored as .java extension. Now here in this class demo, I'm going to write something called as a public. So this will be your main function. Public static void main. Inside this we have string args, open the curly braces again, and here you're going to write the printing statement. This printing statement in Java is a bit different. That is, it is a statement system.out.print. And what do I have to print? Always it will come in double quotes. I just want to print hello world. Hello world. So this is how your basic Java programs look like. First, always in your Java program, you need to add the class, and then you have to add this main method. This void means it is not going to give you anything but only the content that we have listed out here in our printing statement. So about the program, we are going to learn bit by bit about the class, functions, methods continuously. So this will be the only program which will be telling you. First, let us complete some theory concepts, and then let us go to the programming concepts. So this is just for you to see how it is going to give you the output. Now let us run this program. Now you can see hello world is being printed here in our console box. So to run this code, so we have got the output here. So now if you write the code to create a website, you will be getting a new website in there, correct? Here in this case, we have written only hello world. Now this is our output. Now whatever you are going to get in the screen after running your program, that is called as output. And sometimes you will be collecting some data from the user to the backend, that will be called as output. Now we have seen how this code is being executed. Now let us see some backend content, like how the code was converted to zeros and ones from where it got the output. Correct? Now here I told you something called as JDK. So this JDK, okay. Now here whenever you're going to run your Java program, two steps are important, I had told you in the previous class. So the first step is called the compilation step, and the second step is called the execution step. Now here in our JDK, there are again the components, some components which is called as JRE and JVM. So JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment, Java Runtime Environment, and JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. Now these things also come in use here. So for the first step of compilation, first we have written our source code. We have seen our source code which I have written in .java extension. So this source code will be given to the compiler, So this compiler is present in your JDK. This compiler is present in your JDK. This is going to convert our Java program in zeros and ones format. Not in zeros and one format. This is going to convert our program into bytecode, that is zeros and ones, and this will be saved as a dot class extension in the backend in your JDK here itself. So this will be stored in dot class extension. Now after that, this bytecode that is there, this will be given to your JVM. This bytecode will be given for JVM to execute the content. So after the execution, it is going to again convert the output into the native language which the machine is going to understand, and after that it is going to give the same to the compiler, and again the compiler is going to convert it in the high level language, and it is going to give back to us in the language which we had written it, that is the high level language or the Java language. So this is the procedure how the execution happens in for our Java program. So in these videos we have learned about how to install them, how this program runs. So I hope till the next video you are going to install the softwares which are important here, and you will just learn these things, and we'll get back to the next content. Till then, stay tuned. Bye bye.